Rebecca Rich. So she taught at Buena Vista. This is like 18 years ago. So I used to volunteer there during the track system. I went to Ocotillo, and so when I was off track, they were on track. And my mom has been a paraeducator for the district for over 25 years. So I would go with her, and then I don't know what gravitated me to her classroom, but she was just an amazing teacher and just very animated when she taught, and she taught moderate to severe special ed, and just I loved everything she was doing with the kids, and that really inspired me to pursue this career. So I think just having other people come to me to ask for advice is kind of showing that, okay, my kids are, improving and other people can see it. Driven classroom, like everything we do, whether it's academic, behavior, we take a lot of data all day long, whether it's transitions, academic, and then using that information to drive, okay, which way are we gonna go? Again, whether it's academic or behavior, is this working or is it not working? And because data, you can see that it's either going up or going down. So one kid's data, behavior data's log is not gonna look the same as another kid based on, what we're seeing in the data.
When I was in 3rd grade, I had an amazing teacher. Her name was Miss Dorsey. She really knew how to show us that there was a world outside waiting for us, and she actually brought that world into the classroom for us. She was doing things that I still try to do when I teach. One day I was teaching and I decided to let the kids figure out for themselves how to do it. That's it. So at first it was complete silence, but I was so proud when I started to walk around, and little by little more students started to discuss and express maybe, oh, we could do it like this, we could do it like this. And when they got excited for figuring it out, that made me so excited. So that was my moment for sure. I'm really proud of building our classroom community. It seems like something that is really simple, but it makes all the difference. It makes a change in how the students feel with you, with each other, and in their safe place.
Dr. Kelly Young was my master teacher in college. I was so impressed by her because as a science student when I was studying, all the teachers just lectured all the time and we just took notes, and she was the first teacher that I saw actually engaging with students, and that was really inspiring to me. With science, there are new standards called NGSS, Next Generation Science Standards, and I was implementing something called a phenomena. And the first time I introduced that to my students, like I did today, they were really engaged and interested in the topic. I asked them what they wondered and what they were interested in, and when I saw them discussing those ideas together and having really interesting ideas and working together as a group, that helped me know that I was a master builder. I think I have really built a community in my classroom. Students feel comfortable talking and discussing as a group. They also are not afraid to, for example, read out loud. We know that it's a safe environment, and it's also a community where we can learn and grow.
The teacher that inspired me to teach, she was definitely my master builder. She did something that was really different. I think it was new for the time. She gave the class a personality test. The people she grouped me with, I'm still friends with to this very day. They're my best friends. One afternoon we were going out to recess and I was passing out chalk so that they could write on the concrete. And I saw like a group of 10 kids doing this and then drawing, and I'm like, what are they doing over there? So I go over there and they are drawing number bonds and doing addition, pretending like they had dice because we had played a game earlier that day. So they took what we were doing inside for math and they took it outside and used it for a game at recess time. And I was like, oh my goodness. This year, I find that I have a few challenging students. They find it hard to say I'm sorry. So I built this year is children who are accountable so we can keep it moving.
Mary Merson, Miss Coleman, Mr. Langvin. From that point at elementary, that's when I wanted to be a teacher. So those are the teachers that have made me build to what I am today. My first year, I didn't get a good understanding of what physical education was. They just thought it was just go out there and play. But kind of opened the doors for what physical education was, and they grew into it. They know that they had to be responsible, they know they had to be fit. It's responsibility. At the beginning of the year, they were lost, they were confused, but now every day they come to class, they already know what to do, sit on their numbers, exercise. Sometimes they even do it without me even being there. So that just shows me that they're building as the day goes by.
So my master builder was actually Mrs. Jones. She wasn't the type to just tell me to read a chapter and go to the back of the book and answer the questions. She would sit in the front of the room and we would have a few essential questions on the board and then we would discuss and reflect towards the end of the period. And that was really different for me. And so now as a teacher, I remind myself when I'm lesson planning, you know, would Miss Jones do this? Is this too boring? Is this engaging for my students? And ultimately that inspired me to do better. One time in particular that I remember was when one of my students came in at the beginning of second grade and said, oh, I'm not good at math, that's just not my thing. And I couldn't believe that a kid so young had this mentality that I couldn't do something already. And so I made it kind of my mission to teach him perseverance. And so throughout the year, I challenged him, I helped him, I would pull him and work with him one-on-one. And so about a month ago, he was doing some math problems. We were self-correcting, and I gave him the answer, and he stood up and he said, yes, I got this right. And we all applauded him, and we couldn't believe that he was so confident in himself. And that's how I knew I was a master builder. I had built this child's confidence and perseverance. So the one thing I believe I've built in this classroom is a sense of respect. I was really taught to be empathetic. Now when you walk into my classroom, you can see students helping each other, they compliment each other, they applaud for one another, and that's all without prompting at all. And that's a life skill that they can take with them in the world.
Mrs. Johns was my second grade and my fourth grade teacher. She was really young at heart and she just made learning fun and exciting, and she really inspired me. I told students what the assignment that they were supposed to do, and they said, are we going to get to do this right now? I said, yeah, and she said, oh good, so I thought we were going to have to wait. And that, I knew that I had him right then. That was good. I built a community of growth mindset learners, and they really don't give up when something gets hard and they're struggling. And we've talked a lot about continuing and keep going when things are tough and not giving up. And I really built that in my classroom, and they really followed that.
Mr. Thompson, He was like 6'6", and he loved to come play basketball with us at lunch and recess, and really motivated me to try harder in school. And I ended up learning a lot about critical thinking and a lot about history because of him. And then my master teacher, Mr. Erickson, really showed me that history can be extremely fun and engaging if I'm willing to put in the work, and that's kind of what I strive for. So. I think a lot of it comes down to when kids come up to me and tell me, Mr. Chase, I used to think history is boring, it's old, but it's fun, it's engaging, I learn a lot, I have a good time, and that's really what's important to me, because if the kids are enjoying themselves, I'm doing my job. My biggest thing I built is my PBL that's going on. Took me maybe 80 hours to do to get solid, and it's all about medieval Europe and creating fiefdoms, and the kids love it and get to battle and get engaging, actually get immersed in the material, and I think that's the key. They're being engaged, they're having fun, it's relevant to them, and nothing makes me happier than when kids are having fun. So.
My name is Cassandra Cosme.
My name is Mrs. Zambrano.
I'm Mrs. Soto.
Mrs. Johnson.
Kevin Oriana.
My name is Linda Jimenez.
I'm Mary Brown.
I'm Michael Chase.
I'm a master.
I'm a master.
I'm a master.
A master.
And I am a master.
I'm a master.
I am a master.
And I am a master builder.